were in charge of the Turkish bath on the Titanic.
I was.
And where were you when the iceberg hit the ship?
I was in bed.
And when did you first realize things were wrong?
Well, naturally the fog woke us up, and everybody got to their feet, and I went into a little passage and I met the second steward, which was Mr. Dodd, and he said, "For God's sake, get some clothes on, get up on deck." I said, "What's wrong?" He says, "I don't know." So of course I had a coat on, a night dress, and we got up on deck, and everybody was most cheerful.
When did you first realize how serious things were?
I didn't think it was serious because I didn't think it was possible a big ship like that could sink. And everybody was busy, and they was lowering the lifeboats, and the crew were marvellous. Everybody was cheerful.
And how did you escape?
In the last lifeboat, and I didn't want to go.
And then, of course, you realized that things were very serious.
Yes, I did.
And did you see the ship sink?
I did. It sank very quickly.
That must have been a most dramatic sight.
It was, because you could just see the lights going down and down.
Did you hear the music playing?
I did.
Almost till the end?
Till the end, I heard them play, you know, Nearer My God to Thee.
Nearer My God to Thee.
And I met a steward, and he said, "Here you are, grab hold of this." And it was a baby. So I took the baby, and then when they lowered the last lifeboat, I didn't want to go. And they said that one of the other stewards, and Mr. Wheat, he was helping lower them, and Mr. Murdoch, he was the chief steward, and he was shouting out, "Ladies, children and women first." They was marvellous.
And you took the baby?
I took the baby, and I didn't want to go, so they said, "Come on." And I went down in the last lifeboat, and there was, I think there was 72 in it. And two of the stewards manned the boat.
And which ship rescued you?
Carpathia.
The Carpathia.
And she was full, of course, going on the Mediterranean cruise.
And you brought the baby safely back with you?
No, when we got on the ship, the Italian doctor called out for anybody can help. So they had big jars of emulsion, from the rock. Well, only that the stewards of the Carpathia were waiting there with brandy and hot blankets for the survivors. And then, of course, there wasn't much space for us. We had to go where we could, and the kindness of some of the people which was going the Mediterranean cruise helped out with letting us, sleep.
When you first went up on the deck of the Titanic, does anything stand out in your memory?
Only that everybody was most cheerful, and everybody was helping one another, and trying to do what they could. They never thought it was so serious.
What did you take with you?
Well, my clothes?
Of your personal things?
Nothing at all.
No.
I went back to get some personal things that I had, some money and stuff, but the water was coming down the stairs, so I had to go back.
You saw the water?
Oh yes, coming down the gangways, they call it. So I went back, and everybody was up on deck then.
How long were you on deck before you got in the lifeboat?
About an hour.
And then how long were you at sea before you were rescued?
It was about 2 o'clock, I think. It was near about 2 o'clock when we was picked up. Then we floated round all night in the lifeboats. And then we was picked up by the Carpathia. You see, she couldn't come nearer to us. We had to go to them, you see, on account of wanting to sink. And you could hear the ice crashing the sides of the boats.
You saw ice all round you?
Oh yes, crashing and the water, the ocean was as smooth as a pond.
And you were in the water until, you were in the boat until daylight?
Yes, quite daylight. And then we was brought on to New York, and the Lapland brought us back to Plymouth, the survivors, which had to come back. So then, of course, we was kept there a little while, and then brought on to Southampton. Of course, that was very sad, because everybody thought you knew somebody who was lost, and I had so many friends on there, and you couldn't tell them anything.
And then you yourself went back to sea?
Yes.
You went back
Yes.
with the White Star Company?
Yes. I made what they call a Mediterranean cruise. Then I was a little while, and then I gave it up and come out this country to live.
To live here?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Slocum.
Okay.
Where were you when the iceberg struck the ship?
I just retired.
And did you realize that something serious had happened straight away?
No.
When did you first realize the ship was in trouble?
Until we got up and I met one of the stewards, Mr. Dodd, and he said, I said, what's wrong? He said, I don't know, but get up on deck. Everybody get up on deck, which we did. Then we didn't think it was serious.
And you stayed on deck some time?
Yes, quite a while. And everybody was helping, all the stewards, and everybody was helping to put the people in the lifeboats. And one of the stewards gave me a baby to take care of. And we all waited in turn to get in the lifeboats. I never wanted to go because I didn't think it was possible that anything could. I felt I was safer on the deck of the ship. But she sank very quickly, and I was in the last lifeboat, which was lowered.
And then you how long were you at sea?
All night.
All night?
Yes, all night.
Right, go ahead. And then you went back to sea?
I did. And I made a Mediterranean cruise.
Wonderful.
With the White Star.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Slocum.
Thank you.